Alright, action RPG enjoyers, specifically Path of Exile and Diablo players, let's check out the Slormancer. This is a brand new game that just released, and I've been actually following this game for a while. I played in the earlier access version of the game, but it has finally launched. And this is from the devs themselves, saying that it's inspired by old school Diablo and Path of Exile. So let's go ahead, hop in, play some of it, and let's check it out. I'll give you guys my honest first impressions of the game as the launch version of the game. So I've actually played this game for several hours before, but this was in like the earlier access version of the game. We're gonna make a brand new character, and let's go and check it out, man. And I'll show you guys what this game has. So, you're the man. So much strength. Come on, one more. So there's actually several classes that you can play, but we'll show off all of the, nitty gritty. First of all, my name is Brian McRipped. By the way, the art style of this game is obviously a little bit cartoonish. However, there's a lot of comedy if you actually do want to read it. We'll check out some of the text in here, but I won't focus too much on all of that because I want to show off the gameplay. Anyways, you may have heard my name. I am the champion of this kingdom, in charge of keeping the people safe thanks to my incredible abilities. I could talk about myself all day long, but we don't have much time. All right, let's go ahead and skip it. I want to show you guys the gameplay of it, but there is some comedy in the game if you do want to actually read it. But again, for the sake of this first impressions video, let's just get the gameplay. So we have choose our hero. So we have the Mighty Knight, the Fierce Huntress, and then the Mischievous Mage. I don't know if there's going to be more classes that we get to unlock later. Since I'm usually a rogue player, we're going to, of course, select the Fierce Huntress. So we're going to select this one over here. And let's go ahead and show off the gameplay. Now, the game actually has quite a bit of depth. I know it looks kind of cartoonish. By the way, the game is like 500 megabytes, and it is currently set for 15 bucks. This is not a sponsored video. I just want that info to be out there just in case anyone wanted to go ahead and check it out. You can also do click for move, or you can move with WASD, so you can WASD your way over there. So let's go ahead and move on to the objectives over here. But if you want to, let's see, so stretch the mage's legs, you can hit yes, and you can just swap to a different character over here. So if I want to, we can indeed do that, but obviously, yeah, we want to play this over here. So you can swap between the different classes. And there are tons of really cool items for loot. There's progression in the game. It may look cartoonish, but I promise you this game has insane amounts of depth that it's going to blow your mind away with the complexity that this game has. At least, well, again, in the earlier access version of the game. We'll go ahead and go to the Decker Cane over here, which is named Adam Nostrus over here. So we're going to go ahead and, again, kind of skip out some of the dialogue, but we'll do all of the NPCs that we can talk to. We'll go talk to all of them in the very beginning. Then we have Jean-Pierre. There's a lot of other things I believe that unlock as you progress in the game. So if you've ever played any roguelikes, kind of think of it like that, I believe. There's a lot of things to unlock. I believe there's lots of different difficulties too. But we'll go to all of the little stars on the map, and we will use that to... we gotta talk to Brian McRipped over here. Poison my drink, I'm dying. Okay. So now he's a little fairy. You see the king coming down. Help. Okay. Our champion is dead. So now we got to actually fight. So for now, you only have one skill. Press E to use it. Whenever you kill an enemy, you can also reap its Slorm, the essence that brought him back to life. You will eventually be able to upgrade your skills with the Slorm reap this way. So there is kind of what I would consider like ascendancies if you've played Path of Exile. So we got the some gloves over here. You have found a missing piece of equipment. Open your inventory. Okay, so now we have the Adam Nostrus bow, which we just talked to him and we got. So what does this item do? Okay, you can move your new item to, okay, by equipping. Oh, you can just also right click. But yeah, like I said, this game has full depth as far as action RPG goes. We talked to the king. It's a disaster. And we're going to go ahead and go check. We're gonna go enter basically the dungeons. But yeah, it has the tab mini map, which is quite nice. Looks like we took a hit. So yeah, if we lose all our HP, this is our mana. It's pretty self-explanatory if you've played any action RPGs. Did you touch the seal? Okay. Okay, now we got to go down here. So if you ever need to know where to go, on the top right, as far as the minimap goes, there is that little like star sun icon. And what you need to do in some maps, I believe, is to kill a certain amount of enemies, then it'll let you progress to the next like floor. Oh, okay. Get rid of this guy. And then the customs officer. All right, let's go ahead and go up. But later we'll get way more skills and a lot of really cool itemization. Like I said, for this part, this doesn't facilitate like a full like, you know, playthrough. This is just mainly showing you guys off the game, as I'll probably make like a build guide for specifically this class, as this is one of my favorites. There's actually turrets that you can get. So if you like the turret playstyle of kind of like a stationary sentry turret minions, you can kind of play like that, and it was a really, really good build. So we're going to go ahead and start off. This is Graveyard. Progression, you can see there's 0%. I do have a character that is fully kitted out, and they didn't delete the saves, which is really cool, because I might show you guys that build. I don't know if it's the best build in the game, but when I played, that build was super strong. But you can see you can just walk over the little barrels here, and you'll be able to. Also, you can shoot them, and it'll pop them. No mercy for potters. But yeah, this class is really nice. Okay, so now we have extra damage, mana, regen, evasion, skill mastery gain. And we actually have this little plus, which we're going to go ahead and click, and the game will slow down. And you will see, well, there's some depth for sure. So we have the Fierce Huntress. It shows all of our Slorm find. So that's basically a little like a green currency that you get. And there's also attribute points. So look at this. So we have toughness, we have savagery, we have fury. So this is like crit and evasion. So going over each one, we should go over this. So toughness is, let's see what it contributes to. So you can see over here, well, does it? Okay. So just for some feedback, because you can see what it gives us. On the first node, it gives us 1% armor. And then this one over here, this will give us 1% raw damage. We have evasion, we have elemental resistance, we have max mana. And then at every, like, that is 5 points, you get like a bonus. And then let's see what this, oh, look at that, 20% cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is always good in games, right? This has dexterity. This one grants us extra attack speed, reaper damage, knockback on projectile, pierce chance. So there's a lot of cool things at certain intervals. I'm not going to go over all of them because I kind of want to just give you guys gameplay, but there is so much to go ahead and decide. I'm assuming that our character wants to go for dexterity, so I'm going to go ahead and put our points into dexterity. And then once we get this one, it's only like half an attack speed, but we'll see where it goes with the character. There's also movement speed. Wait, how much movement speed do we get? 0.5. Okay, it is small, but you get it. Okay. Oh, you get 0.5 attack speed on every single one. Okay, that's kind of nice. All right, so let's go ahead and now continue. Okay, whenever you level up, you gain a character attribute point. Okay, well, we already showed that off, so good on this. Now, you cannot shoot through walls in this game, so if you get lost, just open up the minimap, and then to progress, like I said, you have to usually kill a certain amount of enemies, from what I remember. So my goal with this, like first impressions, is probably played about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on the game. But I mean, I'll be honest, I already liked the game. As far as like between early access and this, not too much of a difference in terms of like the actual gameplay. But I believe that like storyline thing was a little bit newer, because before you would kind of get into action a little bit faster, but if you want to skip the story, obviously it only took like a few minutes. And there's light warp. What is this? Is that some sort of item? What is this? So, oh, light wrap. And then so we get extra evasion and some armor. But I think this would be a great game if you have like maybe like a Steam Deck also. You can play this game, by the way, with a controller, which is awesome. But right now we're going to be playing with keyboard and mouse. But yeah, good stuff indeed. Hopefully I'll be able to get some sort of unique and or legendary item to show you guys some of the powers. But you know, early games, sometimes it's just not going to happen. Oh, we dodge. Oh, I like that. That's kind of, I want to say that might be new. It makes a little like a dodge sound, and then I also like saw the animation on the character. Oh, now we have a new skill. Okay. And this one will use mana. So now we have a new skill, and then of course we have extra stat points. And it says this character traits menu, you can undo and change your layout anytime for free. I actually really like that. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this with action RPGs. I always felt like I liked how Diablo 3 did it, where it's like you can just swap whatever. Some people like the idea of permanency in skills, but I'll be honest, I like the idea for freedom. This skill actually has a small cooldown. It's like a little rain of, what do they call it in here? Oh yeah, it's actually called Rain of Arrows. Okay, cool, perfect. And then, what is this? Battle pads. Okay, so probably some extra shoulder pads. Go ahead and lock that in and keep on going. And if you want to move with the mouse, by the way, you can. I personally think that this game works better with WASD, so you can really finite like where you want to move, especially with this character being so mobile. But I like how they designed this character. It's kind of like move, shoot, which is, you know, part of the class fantasy. Where if you played like Diablo 1, you need to reposition very, very often in that game. Because you can get hit stunned. Since they were mentioning old school Diablo is kind of their inspiration for this game. Even though it has kind of more like a lighthearted, you know, comedic vibe to it. Don't let that discourage you in terms of like checking out the game if you like, you know, grittier action RPGs. Because I like when my action RPGs are more mature themed. But if the game is good, the game is good. All right, so we're going to go and just do, is this level 2 or what do we got to do here? It's telling us to go over here, but there's certain NPCs over here. Let's go check this out. This is kind of newer to me, too, because it's the first time the game has launched. And I want to say it's been like, has it been years, I want to say, since my last video on this game? Because I had the early access version of the game, which I don't believe was open to the public. They eventually did have like an early access like buy-in. But yeah, it's been a long time since I actually checked out the game. So I think this is the Graveyard 2. So now we're in like floor number 2. And there is different tile sets, I believe, later as we progress. It's been a long time since we played the game. And there's this little happy face here, and it's based on what sort of skills that you use. So how it works is actually kind of unique. So it says the serenity of the fierce huntress is changing and various effects occur if she becomes tormented or delighted. Use it to your advantage. Whenever you cast a skill that is different from the last skill, your serenity is lowered by 2. Whenever you cast a skill that is the same as the last cast, your serenity is increased by 1 towards delighted. Serenity also grants 2% attack speed per stack, 1% cooldown from each missing stack when you are delighted, whenever your serenity is at 12. So yeah, this is actually unique to the class that we're playing right now. And again, there's like kind of an ascendancy that you'll see later down the line. So now we have Arrow Shot Mastery. Okay, new upgrades available. All right, so like I said, this game's got pretty cool depth. And we're only in the first like 10 minutes here. So we have Arrow Shot, and you can see that this will cost what's called Slorm. So when we kill enemies, think of it kind of like skill XP, if you will. So you can see we have 2 different skills here, and we'll have to unlock this. And if you mouse over it, it's really great how beginner friendly this game is when it shows like, you know, all the text. So it says your class skills gain mastery every time you kill an enemy while they are equipped. So just like, I feel like Skyrim, right? Where you just use the thing and it'll increase the thing, which I think is cool. And then improve your mastery to unlock new upgrades. Mastering a skill also increases its damage and effects. So that's awesome. You like the skill, just use it and you'll upgrade it. So this is our just basic attack here. So we have next rank, we can get mana on kill, and the max rank it's shown too. That's really helpful because a lot of times in action RPGs, you just want to know what's the maximum, right? So this one over here, has additional rebound chance. That's kind of cool. So you have 50% chance for rebound. I kind of like this idea. I might actually mess around with this for a while. Oh, we have fork. Ooh. So a chance for your projectile to create 2 identical projectiles whenever they hit an enemy. So which one's rebound? Is this? I'm guessing this. Does it hit the same target? Bounce off of walls instead of being destroyed. Ooh, I kind of like this idea of fork though. So you can get up to 50% fork chance. That's kind of cool. And I believe you can only select one, although there could be some uniques or some other things that change things. Now, another thing I want to mention is the specializations. So we have the Architect of Death, and this unlocks, can I click on it? With the help of totems. Yes, this is the build that I played before. It is actually really good. Well, at least in the early access that I had, it was really good. And then this one has like some sort of like, what is it? Sharpshooter of the Wild. So you get like basically tumble. So when you land, you get an Assassin's Haste granting you extra evasion multiplier. So basically it lets you move around real fast. And then this one is a smoke screen. So you can cast a smoke screen and become invisible for 3 seconds or until you deal damage. So if you like that stealth playstyle, maybe there is some more with that. But they also show off like key mechanics to the class over here. So you can get a dagger whenever you walk on a ravenous dagger or whenever a ravenous dagger comes back at you. So this is maybe a different skill that you'll get. But the thing that I probably want to build again is the turret, because I thought it was really good and it was really fun to play. So I might go for that one again. Again, this is like specializations that kind of, I like how they say TLDR here. Like I said, the game is full of comedy if you read the text. So TLDR, solid and reliable. TLDR, very fast, much strong. Wow. TLDR, you can vanish. It's fun. Like I said, very comedic effect. So we only need to reach level 10 to actually access this. I don't know if we'll get it in this little gameplay here, but again, I'm just trying to show you guys everything. So for starters, I want to go ahead and unlock, let's say, is there a cooldown reduction on this one? Let's say whenever you cast Rain of Arrows, if you're tormented, the first volley of Rain of Arrows will drop a dagger upon landing. Oh, so that's part of that other like thing. The first Rain of Arrows has a 15% chance to drop a trap upon landing. The travel time is reduced. Okay. Ideally, I think I might want to get cooldown reduction if possible, but until then, I think that I'm going to get this. Now, this also says that it has a cost of mana. Oh, so it's going to make it cost mana. So if you want more mana, you would use this, but let's try to make this our main skill. So we're going to upgrade this one, and we're going to equip this one. So you can see now that it's highlighted, and it's going to cost more, but we're going to get extra. We have 5% chance now, and if we upgrade it again, now we have 10%, and it's going to go up 5 times, and it's going to cost more and more mana as we increase it. But honestly, I don't see the mana cost being like a hindrance right now. I believe there's some sort of like reservation if you played Path of Exile. You can see the ability actually forked right there, and we're going to go ahead and equip our new. Is this an upgrade here? Okay, it has movement speed. Did it say brisk wrap? That's a brisk strap. I was gonna say that's a PoE item. Like I said, they mentioned that there was some inspiration from Diablo and PoE. Your skills granted mastery and has become more powerful. Press C to upgrade. Oh, I already kind of showed you guys that, anyways. Oh, we have our rusty hat. Let's go ahead and again, in the very beginning, just like other action RPGs, you don't even need to read the stats. If it's a helmet, equip it. The only exception is like maybe in Path of Exile, if you're doing a speed run, the chest piece can actually slow your character down, and it doesn't actually tell you that. But our whole goal is to close the breach, which basically just kill the enemies, as far as I remember. But so far, in terms of my first impressions, I think this game does an excellent job at what it wants to do, which is like, kind of a comedic like game visually. I mean, look at the character, but the depth here is definitely there. So like, if I was to give the game some score, like the audio, totally fine. I would say that they did a really good job in the audio. I'll probably do a video like full review on it. Like I said, I've always preferred my action RPGs to be more mature in the theme. Like I've always liked Diablo, Path of Exile, versus like Torchlight in terms of graphics. But I still like Torchlight. Specifically, Torchlight 2 with mods is fantastic. Even Torchlight Infinite is a really good game, even though the art style is a little bit different. And so, if you like light-hearted games, I could easily say, even if you like complexity, this game will have it. So in terms of like audio, I'd say the audio is good. In terms of story, I can't really speak on that because I kind of skipped it, and later we will maybe check out the story. But for the most part, in terms of action RPGs, I never really play these games for stories. But because this game has a lot of comedic relief, I think that like even if you kind of skip it once in a while, if you read something, you'll find something funny in here. So, ooh, we have a Gravekeeper over here. But the gameplay is great for this game. If I was to give this game on a number scale, right? What you need a shovel. You come to the right person. I have a great shovel, but let's get back to the village first. Okay, go ahead. I'll meet you there. But like I said, if I was to give the game a score within the first, right in the first 20 minutes of gameplay here, I would say it's an easy, solid 8 or a 9 for what it does, like what it wants to be. Personally, for me, I want that, like, again, more mature feel for the game. Because if I'm going to spend hundreds of hours in a game, I just like a certain look to it. But I'm thankful for getting me back. But I don't think I'm going to knock down points on the game in terms of it, looking a certain way. Because that's, their art style, that's their choice here. So a villager is back in town. So now we have access potentially to, is this going to show us where that new character is? There's probably a lot of things to interact with. And like you said, we're only in the earlier stages of the game, but if I had to like give the game a score off of my first like 20 minutes of playing, an easy 8 or a 9. Like I said, I have played the game before. The one thing that I really wish that they did a little bit earlier on in terms of giving them feedback, if they want to update like the earlier stages of the game, you do a lot of the same like areas in terms of like the visuals here. But I know that as you progress in the game, there is a lot more in terms of what you can do in the game. So, like, if you want, like, game to have complexity, you can see now that we got a magic, you can see it understands what an action RPG is. And I know that sounds weird, but there are so many action RPGs that try to copy Diablo, because I get sent a lot of games like as early access, and sometimes they'll ask for feedback on like, their game. And I feel like one area that's critical in action RPGs is the loot, and they do have the understanding of like, what's a magic item, what's a rare item, we add more affixes to an item. Now, I don't know what all the prefixes or suffixes can roll on an item, but as far as I can tell, they understand what an item should be in terms of an action RPG, which is a really good thing. And in terms of builds, there are items, I don't remember what they were called, I don't know if they're called uniques or legendaries, but I'm pretty sure that they actually had special powers. Maybe we can briefly go on to my other character, and I can show you guys like further game progression in terms of gear, so you guys can see what you can get. And again, consistently unlocking skills is great in a game. Let's go at, what was our skills over here? Oh, we have extra points, and we will reach the next node, which gives us the bonus of max Reaper damage over here. We'll eventually figure out what that does. What are our skills? Oh, there's also this. This is something we'll talk about later. You can see that this game, it doesn't shy away from depth over here. I'm wondering, actually, if this game has multiplayer, because I actually didn't know about this, but if you want to change any of the settings, there is like camera shake and active camera, and there's like if you want to click to move, there's a lot of these other things. But we just unlocked a new skill, so I'm going to go ahead and try out the new skill. So this is stab over here. Okay, let's go try out our new skill. And I like that with action RPGs, like, just trying out new things, even though I'm definitely going to be using ranged. Oh, this is not even that bad at all. I can just hold down right click and just move. So if I want more of a rogue play style, with being a kind of an assassin, there's obviously the stealth one. This is actually not working out too bad. And, sometimes even if you don't like the skill, you can always utilize the, like, different upgrades for the skill that can completely change up the skill, which I think is great. It's almost like a, support gem in PoE, or even kind of like a rune in Diablo. But yeah, if we want to play with this, cool stuff indeed. Chainmail wristbands is an upgrade for a character. Okay, well, we're just going to throw that on. And if I want to go swap out the skill, I love how you can just like swap things on the fly. Like this is actually really good. Oops. I want to keep this skill here, and then I want rain of arrows on right click. Actually, if we want to, we can actually just swap these around, and there we go. And now I can just hold down right click and move. Actually, this is really easy. Oh man, I definitely want to recommend just this. This way I don't even have to push the button. Now, if I want to use the other skill, you can redo the keybinds and stuff, which is really, really good. Now, I'm actually enjoying this game quite a bit. I think for my first impressions here, now that I kind of remember a little bit more about the game, I think right now, again, this is not sponsored. I genuinely like this game. You're on a killing streak. Based on it, increases your storm find. Oh, cool. And it tells us how long. That's really cool. There's a lot of just cool things here, and we're coming up to our first elite over here. But like I said, there is a pretty sizable amount of depth to the game. But obviously, again, we're not going to get access to that early on, because it's the early game in an action RPG. And we're just going to go ahead and equip things until I see... Oh, this is life regen. That's really good. Oh, 100%. If you get life regen, by the way, equip it ASAP. That's like a really good tip. And now we have arrow shot mastery. And we can upgrade the fork. Yeah, I'm really liking this. You just met an elite enemy. They are much stronger and more resistant than other enemies. And watch out for them. Look, they have different skills too. That's cool. And then this is our like item over here. So this one gives us 1 life on hit. That's cool. And then we had what like a skill upgrade. What is that? C. And then you can invest in an unlocked skill. Okay, invest in. Okay. So we are going to invest into the arrow shot. Ooh, we have another one. Now, whenever you hit an enemy with arrow shot, he becomes trapped. Now, let me see if we can get more than one. Can we, like, equip? Oh, we have to get this, I believe. We have arrow shot pierce. Whenever arrow shot forks, it forks into 3 arrows instead of 3. Oh, this is like what, like a link, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we basically got like 6 link without even having to find it. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get this upgrade here. So, is it 100%? Whenever you deal critical strike damage with an arrow to a strike enemy, it has a 1% chance to lay down another trap. Okay, so let's go ahead. Can I equip? Oh, we only have unequipped, so I think we can have 2 of these. But I want to upgrade this one because I want as many fork chances as possible. So now we have 20% chance. Cool. Upgrade. But yeah, as far as like giving them feedback on like what could be a little bit more interesting in the earlier stages is to kind of mix up the biomes. Like, as in, like, the first one could be the graveyard, then we can go to, like, a inside of a dungeon, and then maybe, like, I don't know, a mansion. Just something to kind of vary up the gameplay earlier on. Wow, we're, like, absolutely just deleting stuff. So in these little, like, portals, you just basically kill the enemies. Alright, we got extra raw damage. Skill mastery game. Alright, what do we get? What is this? R to pick up. There's a shovel compass. Oh, it's probably like a quest item or something. Okay. So now we got to go head home. And we have extra slorm. Okay, so I guess Pedro is like the gravekeeper, and then we'll talk to him. And we give him back his thing. And then, we just got our first, I don't know what they call it in this game, legendary mythic. Okay, what is it? So this is a legendary, our first legendary. So it's giving us a % raw damage, elemental resistance, evasion, and you gain the following ancestral skill: emergency healing, cooldown 100 seconds, cost 0 mana, it just restores HP. Okay, so we gain an additional skill. Ah, okay, cool. So it's like a special that gives us a potion. Do we have rings already? What is this, a ring? Oh, this is light binding. Okay, in the very beginning, I'm not going to worry too much about that unless it gives me like regen. So you can see. Kind of like a storyline, I guess, that is here. It says recommended level, and we're level 6, so we're good to go. So let's go do one more of these. Again, the only thing that I really have in terms of like criticism for the game is that like you do kind of the same area multiple times, and I think that some players might just think, oh, is it just the same thing again and again? And while action RPGs are pretty repetitive in nature, to switch up the environment, I think earlier on, it's not a bad idea. But overall, man, I'm really enjoying this. Like, we're just holding down right click, and eventually we're going to get new skills, and that'll probably change up the gameplay. Let's get more, what's the next node? 5 Reaper damage? What about, like, raw damage? What's the first node in here? Let's go ahead and just invest points in here. And again, since you can freely swap, I like this idea a lot because as a content creator, sometimes I want to make more than one build in an action RPG. If you played action RPGs, sometimes, you know, it takes a really, really long time to level up, right? So it helps out if you want to go ahead and swap a build, because sometimes I make a build, right? And people are like, I don't really want to level up again, or like, I'll see some other content creator make a really cool build and something, I'm like, man, I really want to try that thing out. But since you can do full respec for free, that is awesome. So it's very, I would say, newer player friendly, because sometimes, you know, in action RPGs you get to an area where you're like, this build, either I'm tired of it or you want to just change it up because it's just way better. You know, you see the streamer, you know, one shot the boss and you're like, dude, it takes me 5 minutes to fight the boss. But once we get our, we're 6 right now. Okay, so we're about half an hour in. Like I said, we'll finish off this one and I'll kind of wrap up my thoughts. But I think one thing to keep people really engaged in action RPGs, because we just got a new skill, is to always give them new skills to play with. This is like a, think of like kind of like pen shots, kind of like a big charged up attack. 188 damage, wow. Actually, just our right click is pretty good for damage as well. Remember, this can fork. Now we're seeing enemies that have like a cone attack. The elites will also have varied attacks, as they kind of mentioned, but we're early game, so we will see more unique things as we get further in the game. But yeah, I would say the music's good, the gameplay's good. Not really too much that I would improve other than earlier on just having different biomes. Oh, now we're out of mana. Ooh, we're That's no good. I don't know, dude. Is there a monster that had mana leech or something? Or mana steal? Because I don't think we were having too many problems before, but maybe it's just that as we upgrade the skill, let's see if this makes the skill cost more mana. Let's see. No, I don't think so. But as we, max rank is going to cost 42 mana. Ooh, okay. So there is kind of maybe a risk on upgrading that one, whereas this one's just straight up mana on kill. But I want to upgrade this regardless, because I want to kill things as fast as possible. And then we also have the other one that we can upgrade if we want to invest more into the trap. But I think this is what I want to actually go for. So let's see what happens when we go back. And it tells you how much Slorm that you get. You get your XP and then the gold that you're getting. So now we have a new villager back in town. Like I mentioned before, if you've ever played Hades or any of these like roguelites where like there's kind of different things to unlock, I believe there's also a vendor. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it in this little play session here. But Slorm Reapers are rare items that can be found by destroying breaches. Each Slorm Reaper has a unique effect that changes the way you should use your skills. Okay, like I said, cool stuff indeed. Okay, we have an extra point to spend, so let's go slam it in there. Do we get to see? Oh, okay, I guess maybe like later. Okay, so just going over I don't think we have to save here. So I'm gonna go back to main menu just so I can show you guys my other character that I had put more, okay, I guess continue just goes to the last save. I wanted to go ahead and load the save. So let's go to load game, and I wanna show you guys this character that's like almost 7 hours in, and you can see we're level 28, and I unlocked a bunch of stuff over here from achievements. But I just want to show you guys some of these other things. So you can see that there's rares here, and oops, here's our special item over here. This is bow, so it's Reaper damage, and then with projectiles you have Reaper damage multiplier, armor pen, elemental pen, and it says when you idle for at least 0.5 seconds you gain steady feet, which gives you 3 additional projectiles. So I think my build was that I would throw down these turrets and I would hold still and I just get to get additional projectiles. It's really good. Like I said, this was a projectile build, so like how my build works is I build up, this is like a charged up shot, look at this. So yeah, like I said, this game's awesome. So far, within the first 30 minutes, my first impressions of this game are, yeah, if you like action RPGs, it's got depth. The only thing is that, like, you know, it's kind of subjective if you like the art style or not, because again, most people that play action RPGs like more of a, you know, gritty art style. But again, the game has depth. The game has, you know, all these different things that you can invest your time into. And because it's 15 bucks, I would say if I was to recommend this game, I could easily recommend this game to a friend because like it's awesome. So far, if I was to give the game a score, I really want to say my first impression is an easy, solid 8 or 9 out of 10. But I think as I play more, there's probably a bunch of NPCs on this one because this is a character that I played in the earlier access. There's probably a bunch of different things. And what is this like? So if we hold still, we get that additional projectiles. Like I said, the depth seems like it's pretty good. And this, I think, what's cool is we were using these rings because I needed more mana regen, and because it has the base stats. I don't know if that's considered similar to like Path of Exile's implicit on an item, but there's a lot of mana on kill because I think it's hefty on mana cost for this build because I actually get multiple turrets and stuff. But overall, cool game. Definitely check it out. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this, and I will probably drop a build guide for the turret one once I eventually get the other one because I wanna play from the kind of the start, and we'll see where the game goes. But yeah. That's Slormancer, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the game. And if you've played the game yourself, let me know what you think is a cool class to play. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and I'll definitely drop a guide for like the Huntress later down the line. And we'll check out more of this game for sure in the future. But take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, gamers.